On from the time masterclass I ran this week, I'm feeling inspired to do a super quick off-the-cuff video for you of how do I arrange my time. So one of the things I had to really get to grips with when I set up my own business over a decade ago was that I love the next shiny thing, but I also need to deliver on my commitments and have a strategic plan. You see, the biggest and yet tiniest difference between a very expensive hobby and a successful business is strategic planning rather than tactical firefighting. So the first thing I do is look at the year as a whole, and then I break it down into half-yearly chunks and I do a rolling half-year plan. When I have that plan, it actually gives me the freedom to be creative and to make changes if I want to. Without the plan, I descend into chaos. So last weekend, I redid the 6-monthly plan. I've got total clarity on everything that's due to happen between now and October. That means if something needs to change, that's fine. It also means if I need people to have gone through certain experiences to be ready to commit to the next level on their business, I know I've planned it in. I break that plan down into a journey, like a red thread, an experiential journey for my readers and my customers and myself. And then I do a month-by-month plan. Each month I have a core theme. That is the core theme that my Academy members get to work through in the Dare to Dream Bigger Academy. And within that, I have my weekly stuff I do. What's going to be in the podcast that week? Which videos, which articles am I going to create? And I try to create in advance. I do like to be a few weeks ahead because life is so busy and I've got 3 young children and I never quite know when they might need extra mummy time. So being a few weeks ahead really helps me relax. And then if inspiration strikes, I can take the time out of my schedule to feed that inspiration and dive in without feeling so stressed. So here's a whistle-stop tour of the paper, goodness me, the paper system I use to manage my time. So here we are going behind the scenes. So firstly, I get a 6-month plan and I know what I'm going to be marketing each month for those 6 months. Then that translates into my monthly plan. And I'm going to take you through what we're doing in May. So for example, I have to do this on pen and paper. It doesn't work for me on computer. So these go on my filing cabinet and I've got these fantastic photo magnets with pictures of holidays and kids on to remind me what's actually really important. So each week you've got my podcast. I know what's happening each time. When this is done, I do a great big yellow cross through it. So I know I've delivered everything that's happening that week. If there's time when I'm away, it's in yellow. If there's school holidays, it's in green. So I make sure I don't accidentally double book. On the side of each of these, the core theme for each month and the key thing that I want people to be registering for or that I'm marketing. And then on the back, this is my secret sauce, you can see my notes week by week for how it all fits together. Then the other thing I do is the month I'm currently in actually goes onto the front of the filing cabinet so I can see it easily when I'm sitting at my desk. Now this also means that when I get asked to do stuff, I can instantly know whether or not it fits in my big plan and how it works with my priorities and whether I've got time. When I'm done with a particular month and it's over, I have a special file I put them in on my shelf. So at the end of the year, I can look back and celebrate everything I achieved and created. So I hope that made sense and I hope you find that interesting. If managing your time is important for you, make sure you've watched my time masterclass. You can find it at daretodreambigger.biz/time-masterclass. I'd love to share it with you. We're not just doing time management strategies and sticky plasters. We actually dive below the surface and deal with the blocks that create the time issues so that you can set yourself free to make the difference you're here to make in the world and still have time for life and your loved ones. I'd love to share it with you. daretodreambigger.biz/time-masterclass.